I'm Edwin Warfield. I'm the publisher of Citybiz, and I'm honored today to interview Rob Kunisch, who is the President and Chief Operating Officer of Howard Bank. Welcome, Rob.
Thanks, Edwin. Appreciate you having me on today.
Let's talk a little bit about your career. You started your banking career started at Mercantile, and then in the last decade, you spent some time were involved in the First Mariner Bank, and then were recently promoted to president of Howard Bank. Walk us through your career, please.
Yeah, definitely. So my banking career actually began back when I was in high school. Another local bank called Union Trust. I started as a summer teller there. Did that for about 5 years, and then upon graduating, was going to go there to work postgraduate, but they had been acquired by Signet Bank. So my first early experience with bank mergers and acquisitions, because my job was rescinded. I was lucky enough then to apply at Mercantile February of my senior year, and they offered me a job, and I went there to work in their credit department. I worked for about 3 years through the credit department, did some work out on their behalf, and then became a commercial lender sometime in the mid '90s, which was a really interesting time to learn the business. It was in the midst of a real estate recession. So I spent several years there, and upon a couple of years after the merger with PNC, I decided that smaller community banks were a better fit for me. So I moved on from there back in 2008 and went to work for another small bank that was about a $13 billion bank called Wilmington Trust, and started an office for them here in Baltimore. That bank then merged with M&T Bank. So I quickly decided that, moving into another big bank, there was a better opportunity for me to go work within a smaller bank. So we actually tried to start a bank at that time, but there was a moratorium on bank charters. We're talking around 2012. So we were forced to go try to acquire a bank at that time. And the one bank that was available that was having issues as a result of the Great Recession was First Mariner Bank. So we raised $110 million in capital. We acquired that bank. We stabilized it. We began to grow it. And what we quickly learned was that, based on the amount of capital that we had raised, we weren't really able to service our larger borrowers beyond our legal lending limit. So we met with Marianne Scully early on, or she actually reached out to me. And we decided that putting the two banks together probably was in the best interest of both organizations, as it doubled our lending capacity, gave us a much larger geographic footprint, and allows us to continue to reinvest in technology and things of that nature.
So can you provide a snapshot of where Howard Bank is today in terms of capital, loan portfolio, employees, and the footprint?
Sure. So our capital base is right around $300 million. Our loan portfolio, not including the recent PPP loans that we've made, is just over $1.7 billion. We have about 251 employees, and our geographic footprint, if you think of the 95 corridor from Newark, Delaware, now down into the DC area, because we've launched a new initiative down in the greater Washington area. So all the way straight down to Washington, DC, Anne Arundel County as well. Is our primary footprint.
So Howard Bank was a significant lender during the first two rounds of PPP loans. How many of the loans, and what was the value of those loans? And tell me how your team worked implementing those loans.
Yeah. So first off, I would say I couldn't be more proud of our team, the way they implemented that process. It came out with a lot of without a lot of clear guidance from the Small Business Administration. And that's not a criticism. It just, nobody's ever really operated in a pandemic before. And everybody was trying to do their best, but communication came out a little lacking. So in the first round, we did 1,064 loans, just shy of $200 million. Most of those we accomplished in the first 2 weeks. At a time frame when a lot of other banks were really struggling to understand how they can maneuver through the SBA process. So we achieved 100% of loans for those customers of ours that applied. And so we were very proud. It was a situation where our people, of our 250 people, 150 people were working actively, 7 days a week for 12 to 18 hours a day to pull that off. So tremendous success. On the next round, we were able to automate the process. The first round was heavily manual. The second round, we were able to almost fully automate it. We did just about half of what we did in round one. So right around $95 million and about 526 applications we took. And I think the round two, as I talked about the difficulty around the communication of round one, round two was very clear from the SBI. We had great guidance in terms of who was going to qualify. And I really think they did a great job of carving out the most heavily impacted industries to make those funds available to them.
So COVID obviously has impacted operations across every industry. How has Howard Bank responded to COVID and implementing in terms of workforce and moving forward?
Yeah, it's definitely impacted everybody. It's forced us to operate our company obviously in a more digital environment. It pushed a lot of our customers who kind of resisted using some of our technology now are fully utilizing our technology. So it really, there's always kind of a silver lining in everything, and the silver lining there was it forced the banks to become a lot more um, technologically driven at a time where we were kind of slow walking that pace. And so there is a benefit. The hard part right now for us is we're still working remotely. Our branch lobbies are open for appointment, but mostly our customers are utilizing drive-throughs. But the biggest challenge for us is we're a growing organization. We had a phenomenal fourth quarter in terms of growth. So we've been hiring a number of employees. We talked about moving down into the DC market. So the challenge for us right now is how do we maintain the culture that we had and introduce new people coming into our bank to our culture while we work in this remote environment. So that's kind of the biggest challenge that we're faced with.
So, are there any fintech strategies or relationships that are being implemented by the bank?
Yeah, there's no question. And again, COVID helped us to accelerate. We kind of look at it in a couple different lights. One is how can we operate more efficiently with technology? So we just implemented, it's basically a startup company called Clarivis. And what they do is they sit on top of our core and they give all of our employees instant data to what their portfolios of customers look like. So imagine our branch managers having the ability now to come into their office and turn on their computer and instantly see what's happening what happened yesterday in their branch, and what happened the month before or last year. So they're able to see new accounts open, new accounts closed, large deposits coming into certain accounts. They're able to see CD maturities. They're able to see lines of credit maturity. So they're able to be proactive in working with our customers to assist them to help with extensions of those types of products. So really powerful stuff for a small community bank. We're proud to have implemented it. And we think it's really going to give us a strategic advantage as we're able to really dig into our portfolio of customers. A second one that we just partnered with and we launched just recently is with a company called Strategy Corp. And what they do is they come in, they work with us through affinity relationships and help us provide benefits to our customers that ordinarily they may be paying for on an individual basis. They now, as a part of some of our accounts, receive those services for free. So just always looking for different ways. Again, with the COVID, there's going to be plenty of opportunities for banks to continue to expand with the fintech for the benefit of our customers and also for our shareholders.
So, as a community bank, Howard Bank has obviously a huge impact on the greater Baltimore area. How big having your headquarters here? Tell us about that impact and some of your commitments.
Yeah, so we were just recognized by the Baltimore Business Journal as the 18th largest philanthropic company which for a company our size is I think it says a lot about us and our character and how important it is to us. Marianne Scully, when we merged the two banks, it was always important for me to have a bank in Baltimore with some real substance and the ability to really meet the demands of the borrowers in Baltimore and that of the community. And when we did merge the two banks together, she was willing to put the headquarters in Baltimore. She's like me. We're both very passionate about the city. We believe that a vibrant city is in the best interest of all those that live there and also come to visit the city. So when COVID hit, we sprung into action. All of our employees are out supporting different organizations, both volunteering and also by philanthropic means.
And so, with the new stimulus for small business coming open now, how is Howard Bank helping businesses?
So I think the first thing that we did was just our real leadership throughout the PPP process. We did limit the PPP process to customers for really a variety of reasons. One, just a total bandwidth issue. As I mentioned, we did over 1,000 loans in a very compressed amount of time, and we really thought we needed to prioritize our customers. And the second reason really is the regulatory aspects of what we call KYC, know your customers, the regulations that come with both opening accounts, deposit accounts, and lending money. So we limited it to our customers. But any small business that then walked into one of our branches that wasn't receiving the attention that they needed from their existing bank, we did point those customers or those prospects in a direction to say, here's a bank that you can apply to today as a non-customer. Here's some things in the application process that we can do to help you facilitate the process on your behalf. And hey, we'd love to reach out to you post PPP and see if there isn't some things that we can do for you going forward. So we've always really been focused on small business and middle market companies. They're our real bread and butter, are the closely held family businesses. So we take their needs very seriously. I think the last thing what I would tell you is we fully automated our forgiveness process now. So everything that was kind of unclear and gray around the PPP application process when you got your loan, we set up on our website information center where our customers or anybody can go to help them navigate that forgiveness process quicker, because the faster we can get that done for our customers, I think the better off they are.
Well, last night's news obviously was another local bank merger. So it seems like your world has always been the local to acquire or to be acquired. So will you be an acquirer or will you be acquired?
It's our goal to be an acquirer. Howard Bank has grown significantly over the years through acquisition. You do that with your strength of currency. So we think we have a compelling story to tell anybody that would be interested in potentially merging with us. So we view ourselves as an acquirer.
Thank you for sharing that. So, is there anything about the Howard Bank or in your personal impact anything else that you'd like to share with us?
I think the number one thing that we'd like to share is that we are a local bank. That we do, our slogan is "We care about here." We're locally managed. All of our employees live locally, and we really support the local economy. So, we're a terrific spot for anybody who's seeking a high touch, a customer level service, and we'd appreciate the opportunity to talk to any potential clients who would see value in that type of relationship with a bank.
Well, Rob, I want to thank you for your time and bringing us up to date on Howard Bank's important activities in the region.
Absolutely, Edwin. Thank you very much for taking the time. I appreciate being here.